Alright there guys, and welcome back to the second channel. Right, real talk, bullies. That's what we're getting into here. Let us talk a bit about bullies. As I see different types of bullying. And I want to list them off for you and just talk about them. So let's start off with bullying. The type of bullying number one is two friends roasting each other. You know how I don't know if this happens anywhere else in the world, but in the UK, roasting each other is kind of just what friends do. No one knows why this is how friendships work in the UK, they just do. Like me, Che and Connor roast each other all the time. But again, it's more of a when you're roasting someone and then they're roasting you back. But say then they take it too far, right? And get to say something that's probably a little too personal. And you tell them, think that was a bit too far, could you stop? And then they choose not to stop after that. That's going to turn into bullying, because if there's something we know about bullying, it's not a one-time thing. Because if it was a one-time thing, it's not bullying. Some people need to learn that. Doing something once to someone is not bullying. Doing something constantly to someone is bullying. There's a pretty big difference. It's the same thing in how criticism does not equal harassment. But there are delusional people out there that think they're the same thing. That think criticism is harassment when it isn't. I mean, people who say criticism equals harassment clearly cannot take criticism. That's why they say it. I don't personally know of any experiences of my own or anyone I know that's had the first type of bullying I've listed off, but it will happen. Let's be honest, it probably does happen a lot. Now, the next type of bullying is relationship bullying. Now, what I mean by that is relationship bullying is basically where one person in the relationship makes the other one feel so worthless that they basically metaphorically they have them wrapped around their finger, and basically the person who feels worthless has basically going into the state of mind of they will literally do anything for the other person just to try and make them appreciate them. I mean, you can take a guess who I think has done that in the past. Well, no, not think. Kind of someone who you can kind of guess who has done that in the past. The person I fell out with 2 years ago. That's your hint. Yeah, making the other person in the relationship feel so worthless that they will basically do anything for you, just to get any sort of appreciation, because you've made them feel that way. If you are in that type of relationship, if you're the one who's made someone feel so worthless that they basically feel they have to they will do anything for you just to be appreciated, you deserve to be dumped. They should just stop letting you treat them that way and dump you. Or vice versa, if you are the person that has been made to feel worthless by the person you're in a relationship with, where you will basically do anything for them for any appreciation, then you probably should get your ass out of that relationship and probably never speak to that person ever again. because relationship bullying is really bad, because this person that you're with is supposed to be someone who loves you, that is supposed to be someone who cares about you and wants to make you happy, not make you feel absolutely worthless and wrapping you around their finger. So you will basically do anything for them, no matter what they ask you to do. You will subconsciously just do it for appreciation, because that's the way they've made you feel. They've manipulated you into that state of mind that you can't get out of it. The next type of bullying I want to talk about is the type of the most classic. I know that doesn't sound like a good thing, but that's the best way to describe it. The classic way of bullying, where somebody decides to randomly start picking on you for no reason because they're just a twat. That's basically what. Now, I've experienced this one quite a lot at high school. Never at a little bit at primary school, but a bit more at high school. I was like, these are in my opinion some of the worst bullies. The ones that the whole reason they go to, the whole point of them being at school is literally just to pick on other people. Because I got picked on by this guy from year 9 to the end of year 11. It was when I left school, I finally got away from him. It was in science as well, always specifically in science. This guy bullied me. He wouldn't leave me alone. He kept trying to take things off me, like my bag. One lesson he pushed me off my chair twice, after he came to sit next to me, and I did not want that. One day after PE, in the boys' changing rooms, he went and headbutted Dean for no reason. Absolutely no reason. He just went up to him and headbutted him. Dean did absolutely nothing. He never did anything, never said anything to him to make him do that. He came over and did that, because that's the type of person he is. These are the worst bullies. The ones that they look for a victim, and when they feel like they found the victim that they can always get their bullying satisfaction out of, that's the victim they pick. And I happen to be that one. And funnily enough, one of his pretty good friends was also a bully, and has on multiple occasions has assaulted Che, which is a horrible thing, isn't it? The first one I never saw, I only heard about it, but the second one I actually saw. The first one I was told about. Che was literally on his way to the minibus that he gets to from home to school and then back home. He was on his way there, and for some random reason the guy came up to him and punched him in the stomach. That's all I've heard. I don't know the full details of what happened. This was quite a while ago. This happened in, like, I don't know, 2015. This happened like 2015, I think. So a good 5 years ago that the first one happened. The second one happened in either 2016 or 2017. And I've actually talked about this this second incident on my main channel before. It was a video called "The Types of People on the Internet." If you guys can find that video in my vlog playlist, I think it is, you might be able to find this very story that I've actually spoken about before. I remember being told that Che was sitting next to this guy, and the guy was basically trying to mess about with Che's computer, because they were in the IT. They were in IT, and basically Che had had enough of getting his PC pissed about with. So he told me that he went up to the guy and went like that to him, as basically to say, "Get off my PC, you asshole." Then at lunch, and then at dinner time, not too long after Che and Connor told me what had happened, the same guy comes up to Che and punches him in the face. It's like, how has Che come off worse in this situation when he's the one that was being picked on first? And another example, these are the types of bullies that are super sneaky. These ones usually don't usually get away with it. These are the type of bullies that basically, say you're hanging around with someone, right? And you get along well with them, right? But when this type of person, when they happen to be there, this person that you get on really well with suddenly completely changes. They completely change, and they start acting like an asshole towards you, like the person that makes them, like the bully that makes them act that way. I don't understand why there are people like that. Why are there people, and the people that allow themselves to change their entire personality to change just because this one person happens to be around them? Like those are the people. They're sneaky. They're the ones that get away with it, and never get caught out. Next, I want to go for, this one's a pretty interesting one. This one is bully teachers. When there's a teacher at a school or college, I very highly doubt a college, likely in school, when a teacher actually bullies his or her students, it's like, you're here to teach, not give us grief about something not give us grief, mate. Honestly, in science, right? In year 10 and 11, when I was in year 10 and year 11 in science, the teacher we had, he literally picked on me and Dean all pretty much exclusively. He picked on one of the girls in our class, but 98% of the time, it was me and him he was picking on. We never did anything wrong. I remember once getting told off for talking when the lesson hadn't even begun. Our teacher spent 10 minutes to get a PowerPoint slide up on the board that he didn't even make. So what does he expect us to do? Just sit there silently, waiting for him to stop messing about and get on with it? No, of course we're not going to do that. Of course we're going to talk. It's not like we're missing anything, because nothing's happened. Nothing has started yet. Oh, so frustrating. I remember once, it was close to my drama GCSE exam, and I actually got taken out of science to go and do extra rehearsals for that. Oh, I was so happy when that happened. So happy. And the thing is, it's not like he just bullied the class I was in. He was the most hated science teacher in the entire school because he bullied every single class he ever had. It's basically because he can't teach. Because he's an atrocious and he's an abysmal teacher, he has to try and find a way to get his students' attention. So he finds two certain students and just picks on them for no reason. It was very annoying. And that's just the thing. Bullying is a horrible, horrible thing. And if you disagree with me, you clearly must be a bully. Because there is no logical way you can disagree with me and not sound like an asshole. Now, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I've never bullied anyone before. Yes, I have. Back when I was a lot younger, in primary school, me and Shay used to fight a lot. Verbally and physically, believe it or not. I'd consider that back in them days, I probably bullied Shay a little bit. So maybe, yeah, actually, yeah, that's like the first type of bullying. Friends that roast each other, but it goes too far. It was, it's like I said things that were crossing a line without realizing. I could use the excuse, oh, but I was a lot younger then, so I didn't understand it. Fam, you're 11, or I was like 11. It's not like I was 6 or something. I was 11. I understood the concept of right and wrong. So yeah, I probably did bully Che a little bit in primary school, which, no, I'm not proud of it. I mean, why? Who the hell would be proud of that? But we are still friends, and we are still friends now, aren't we? And we've been friends for 15 years now. So clearly, the bond the me and him have is much stronger. It's strong enough to where stuff like that is just really old news, and it's like, I bet he wouldn't even remember. Maybe he'd remember if I told him, but who knows? Maybe he wouldn't. But yeah, bullying is an incredibly serious issue, and schools are the worst when it comes to bullying. Not in terms of doing it, but in terms of dealing with it. Honestly, schools are horrendous at dealing with bullies, aren't they? They are so bad. Schools do not deal with bullying. They really don't. All they do is they just tell the person, don't do it again. That isn't doing anything. You might as well have not said that, because you've made no impact by saying that. And probably the worst thing when it comes to bullying within school, when it's students on students, it's the teachers never punish the bully, do they? They never punish the bully. However, if the student decides that's getting bullied decides to fight back at the bully, they are the ones that get punished. The person who's bullying receives zero punishment, whereas the person that's standing up for themselves, is the one who receives the forefront of the punishment. it's completely stupid and all completely backwards the way schools deal with bullying. And why do people bully? Well, the most common answer for why do people bully is their lives are, the people that bully, their lives are so sad that the only way they can obtain any sort of happiness is making other people suffer even if they've done nothing to that person. Like, bullies feed off, their happiness is fed from tearing down others. And that person that I fell out with 2 years ago, you know who I mean, he definitely is a culprit for that. He's definitely a culprit of having his happiness or satisfaction fed off tearing down other people. But yeah, bullying, incredibly serious issue, needs to be taken more seriously in general, but especially in schools. Because schools really do not do anything about it. And think about it, like, the reason why I haven't talked about bullying over the internet, and I've only talked about bullying in real life, is because bullying on the internet isn't really a thing. Like, you can have a bunch of people give you nasty messages or nasty comments, but you can just choose to not look at them. You don't have to look at them. Every time if you see these nasty negative comments, it's likely you're the one choosing to look at them. Not always, but most of the time, you're the one choosing to look at these comments. You don't have to look at them. I mean, I've had people calling me an idiot, calling me retarded. On the Vinland Saga video on my main channel I made in February of this year. Because I said the show was disappointing, because it got so much attention last year. It was nominated for Anime of the Year. And it was the first anime I finished in this year, and I just didn't see what everyone loved about it. I just couldn't see it. So I made a video, a controversial video, saying about Vinland Saga being disappointing, and it got a bit of hate. In fact, the best culprit video I have in terms of hate I've received was the Hatsune Miku crying speech reaction video I did over two and a half years ago now. It has over 1,100 views. Yeah, I know, right? In what was it? In April, was it? That it hit 1,000. April of this year, it hit 1,000 views. Since then, it's gained another 100 views since. Like, that video's views from February 17th, 2018 have, to this day, the views on that video to this day are still increasing. And I can't believe how these videos are still the views on that video are still increasing, but they are. I got a huge amount of hate comments. There's at least 30 comments on that video, the most amount of comments I've ever had on any video. All sorts of hate I've gotten on that video. And I'm not going to say how or where all that hate came from, because I've already made 2 videos specifically talking about how it got so much hate. I don't need to talk about it for a 3rd time. You guys already know why the video, who who made that video get a lot of hate. But yeah, if any of you guys are being bullied, you really should tell someone. Your parents, if it's at school, a teacher, just tell somebody, because telling someone it makes a higher chance of it being resolved. And also, not only that, you know the saying, if you see someone getting bullied, you should step in and help them. Because if you just stand back and watch, you're just as bad as the bully. That is such stupid advice. In what way does that make any sense? It just doesn't. It really makes no sense, that. Let me explain why. The reason why that makes no sense is you're just as bad as the bully by standing back. No, you're just as bad as the bully if you're encouraging them to do it. That's what makes you as bad as them. Standing back is because you don't want what's happening to that person to then start happening to you. Because let's be honest, if someone like me saw someone getting bullied and tried to step in and help them, let's be honest, here's what would actually happen. I would start getting bullied by this person, but the person that was getting bullied originally would also still be getting bullied. So not only have I not stopped this person from getting bullied, they're still getting bullied and I'm getting bullied for trying to help them. I've just made my own life worse for trying to help someone else, and I haven't even helped theirs, so why did I even bother? Just think about that. Oof. Haven't recorded a video this long in a little while on the second channel. Feels a bit refreshing to be doing a longer video that's not a Dragon Ball Super review episode. God, they took forever. And this video still isn't even as long as the first episode of that. But yeah. Any of you guys that are getting bullied, I hope you are able to try and resolve your issues, as the only people that deserve to get bullied are the bullies themselves. Anyone who bullies deserves what they do to have happen to them, but even worse. So they really understand how bad they are as people. Because because being bullied worse than what they're having something done to them worse than what they're doing will make them realise what they're doing is wrong, and that'll hopefully stop them from doing it in the first place. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I wasn't sure how I was going to make second channel videos now, because all my videos are like this, me just talking into the camera to you guys. All my videos are going to be like this now, so I need more time to record video. I need more time to get, some privacy and some space to record videos like this for my main channel, since I do 2 videos a week there. But whenever I'm able to get a second channel video recorded and uploaded, that is, of course, what I will do. I've already planned out the next Real Talk video. It won't be going up this week, of course, because that's what this video is for. And I want to know, would you guys like to see a Why Mock Exams Are a Waste of Time Part 4, but explaining how in 2020 specifically, they actually were the complete opposite of a waste of time. They were actually more important than they've ever been in history, to my knowledge. Let me know if you guys want that. Want a 4th episode of that on the 9th of November to keep the trend of me uploading that video on the 9th of November every year, 4 years in a row. But yeah, this will be going up Wednesday, so one day after the last video on my main channel, and 2 days before the next one. So I guess I will see you guys on Friday for the Premier League predictions video. That's exciting. That's gonna be exciting, isn't it? But until then, catch you later.